Hello, I'm Riley and this is Experience Fitness. If you are a middle-aged man who wants to get fitter, healthier, and stronger, you've come to the right place because I'm trying to do exactly the same thing, and this is where I share my journey of what's working for me. Hopefully it will work for you too. Today I want to talk about intermittent fasting and whether or not it is a starvation diet. So stay tuned, that is coming right up. Okay, so intermittent fasting. If you're not familiar with it, please check out my introduction video to intermittent fasting, which I will link right up here or here. I can never remember which side it is, but up there somewhere. But just to summarize briefly, intermittent fasting is basically a time-restricted eating protocol, restricting the time in which you consume food to a very small specific time window, and for the rest of the time you don't eat. That's basically it. If you subscribe to my channel, you'll know that I practice intermittent fasting. I actually use the alternate day fasting method, which means I only eat every other day. So I've been intermittent fasting consistently for the past almost 4 months. I can say conclusively that intermittent fasting is not a starvation diet, and today I am going to give you 3 reasons why that is the case. So let's jump right in. Reason number 1. Intermittent fasting promotes health. I like to keep things nice and simple on this channel, so I'm not going to delve too deeply into the scientific reasons how and why intermittent fasting promotes health, because I'm not a scientist. And even if I were a scientist, for every claim that I made, even if I've provided scientific proof to back up that claim, there will be another scientist, at least one, with an opposing claim and scientific evidence to back up his claim too. So I don't want to get into a scientific debate. But what I will say is that after 4 months almost of practicing intermittent fasting on a consistent basis, I have never looked or felt better than I do right now. I'm sleeping better. My migraines are more or less gone, except for when I consume alcohol. I have better levels of concentration. I have more energy. My skin is healthier, and the list goes on. So all of these positive factors prove to me that intermittent fasting is actually good for you. I don't believe that it's possible to do something that's bad for you and damaging to your health and at the same time achieve positive results. It just doesn't make sense. Sadly, in this day and age, we're all familiar with images of starving people. There are people who are starving as a result of living in the developing world, famines or war. We all know what those images would look like. We can all look at someone and see that somebody is starving. But if you do a search on YouTube for fitness channels that advocate intermittent fasting as a lifestyle, look at the people on those channels. Do they resemble any of those starving images in your mind? Of course they don't. Okay, so let's move on to reason number 2. Deprivation. There is no deprivation involved in intermittent fasting. Please take a moment, either now or after the video, to go to my Instagram feed. Link is below in the description. Most of the images that I post are about food, are about what I eat. Look at those images. Do I look like I'm deprived? I pretty much eat what I want. I try to avoid processed foods, but I do eat them occasionally as part of a balanced diet. Just eat them in moderation. I don't count calories. I don't use an app to track what I eat because, to be honest, I find it a bit of a drag, and for me personally at least, that isn't any way to live. I don't want to be doing calculations when I eat food. I just want to be able to eat something and enjoy it. When it comes to what I eat, I only have 2 rules. 1, don't over-consume processed foods, and 2, don't binge. I eat until I'm full and then I stop. That's it. Now that's hardly what you'd call starvation, is it? Okay, and the final reason, number 3. Intermittent fasting is sustainable if you do it properly. Now when I say do it properly, what I mean by that is keeping it flexible. If you are too rigid with any kind of eating protocol or diet, the chances are that you will not be able to sustain it long term. Number one reason why most diets fail is because people cannot sustain them in the long term because they are too rigid, too restrictive, and your natural impulses will fight against that. So the way to keep intermittent fasting sustainable is to keep it flexible. And that flexibility is where intermittent fasting has an advantage over diets that restrict what foods you can eat. Because you end up feeling deprived, you end up resenting the diet, and then you don't stick to it. With intermittent fasting, you can still eat the foods that you enjoy, just eat them into moderation and within a specific time window. This to me is something that is highly sustainable in the long term. I firmly believe that you should never make any changes to your lifestyle in terms of diet or exercise that you can't maintain on an ongoing basis for the rest of your life. Okay, so those are my 3 reasons why intermittent fasting is not a starvation diet. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button and remember to click the notification bell so that YouTube lets you know each time I upload a new video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.